Today, Nationers, we are going to be reacting to how the Super Bowl works. Now, we are 1 week removed from Super Bowl 60 between the Seahawks and the Patriots, where the Seahawks won. Shout out the Seahawks. I only say that because I live in Washington, even though last few videos that I reacted to, I was wearing a Raiders hat. And as a guy that loves to learn more behind the scenes or the logistics of big events like the Super Bowl, there's a video by First Team Football titled How the Super Bowl Works. So today, we're going to find out and see if we can deduce how the Super Bowl really works. Leave a like, subscribe, and let's get right into it.
The Super Bowl isn't just a football game.
Okay.
It's a logistical monster.
Stuck in traffic here.
Behind one kickoff is years of planning, billions of dollars, and one of the largest security operations in the country.
You're right.
Entire cities compete for the right to host it. Thousands of workers, volunteers, media members, and law enforcement agencies are involved. Private jets flood airports, hotel rooms disappear, and for 1 week, everything in that city revolves around a single event.
It is kind of crazy when you think about it that there are millions of people, well, maybe not millions, but there are thousands of people that just flood into a city for a week. That is players, family, the entire team, all the people that work for the team. That's just for the football game. And then there's teams and fans that flood in just for this one game. And that is honestly something that I cannot wrap my head around.
How does the NFL actually pull it off? In this video, we're breaking down how the Super Bowl really works. From host city selection, Super Bowl week logistics, to broadcasting, commercials, halftime shows, and everything that happens once the final whistle blows.
Those all look like AI images too. Oh gosh. Oh. First Team Football, okay.
Where does the planning for the Super Bowl start? With the selection of a host city.
That makes sense.
To host the Super Bowl, you first have to place a bid, which normally starts about 4 years out. And the NFL considers a multitude of factors to select a host city. The NFL considers stadium quality and capacity, obviously, but also many other factors like hotel inventory, airport capacity, the climate of the city if the field is in a dome, security on hand, and corporate infrastructure. To get the game, host cities will come up with intricate plans that cost millions of dollars to prepare. This may seem backwards, but it's actually an investment. For example, Las Vegas spent roughly $60 million preparing for the Super Bowl, but the return was massive, with an estimated economic boost hovering around $600 to $700 million, a 10x return. These investments are in a number of different things. Host cities will often renovate stadium locker rooms, improve broadcast capabilities by adding new cabling for cameras, and a host of other things. Cities will tightly map out traffic plans, trying to find the most efficient ways for fans to reach the stadium. Another important consideration is airport availability. There are plenty of commercial flights that will be arriving for the big game, but an even bigger consideration is being able to house all of the private jets. The Super Bowl...
Yeah... I have seen like those time lapses of all of the private jets that, you know, people that can afford them are flying out from, especially after the game. And whether or not you think that private jets are ethical or good for the environment, it is still a logistical nightmare regardless, because those private jets don't just fly back and then fly to, and then you hop on and you fly right back out. It doesn't make any sense. There needs to be enough space on the tarmac or somewhere on the tarmac for them to exist. And there's a lot. There's like hundreds of private jets, and they're just like, oh, hello. Hello. Do you just like, what do they do? What do you think they do? Do like the pilots go to the game with them? Do they chill in the private jet? Most private jets look the exact same. Like all of them look pretty white. What about if you like hopped into the wrong private jet? What about if you hopped into like the wrong private jet and we're like, this isn't my private jet. It's like kind of when you're in the parking lot and you walk to the wrong car thinking it's your car, but it's not. I wonder if people that fly private jets do the same thing.
Is just as much a social event as it is a sporting one, with thousands of celebrities, athletes, and business moguls attending every year. Given this, a ton of private jets arrive every single year for the Super Bowl. For Super Bowl 58 in Vegas, approximately 882 private jets flew into the city for the big game. The year before that, 800? In Phoenix, a record 931 private jets. Insane.
Dang.
In case you haven't heard...
Okay, guys, I already know what this is. It's a Kalshi ad, guys. We don't support no Kalshi ads, no Polymarket. We don't support any of those. So we will be skipping that ad.
Security is ridiculous too. The Super Bowl is labeled as an NSSE, short for a National Security Special Event.
Okay.
This means that a multitude of different security groups need to work together to ensure a smooth, safe event for everyone.
That's understandable.
That means a group effort and collaboration between the Secret Service,
I like this little transition that they have here.
Department
That's
of
really
Homeland
nice.
Security, state police, and local law enforcement. The exact number is tough to pin down,
to who?
but it is estimated that the FBI, DHS, and Secret Service contribute anywhere from 500 to 700. State
lot
and
of
local
people.
law enforcement
Yeah,
between
the thousands.
1,200 and
Yeah.
2,000.
That makes sense.
And roughly another 200 to 400 from the National Guard.
Okay.
All told, well over 3,000 plus security members help secure the Super Bowl.
Wow.
To house everyone visiting, hotels work overtime. In New Orleans, it was estimated
imagine.
that 43,000 hotel rooms were roughly 93% occupied.
That's just rooms. That's not even people. 40,000 rooms used during Super Bowl week and weekend rather. That is oh my goodness, that is insane. You're talking up to 90 to 150,000 people, maybe a little bit more than that, just in this one city for the Super Bowl. And oh my goodness, that is actually bonkers.
Which is crazy. In Vegas, that number was tenfold. 413,000 hotel rooms were booked between Friday and Sunday, the week of the Super Bowl.
That is
Although
crazy.
this is expected for a city like Las Vegas.
That is crazy.
Where many people probably visited to enjoy everything Vegas has to offer during America's biggest sporting event.
That's
Who
understandable.
makes up many of the people attending the Super Bowl?
2029, come on now.
Volunteers, of course.
Right.
10,000 plus volunteers help every single year with the Super Bowl.
Okay.
This includes everyone from airport greeters to fan experience staff and traffic coordinators. Concessions are also incredibly important for the Super Bowl experience. People need food to eat while enjoying the game. There are roughly between 2,000 and 3,000
man.
core food and beverage staff working the game. But
That's
given
a
this is
lot.
the Super Bowl, they need a little extra help.
Shout out this lady.
To handle this, an additional 1,000 to 2,000 workers are brought in to help serve people food and drink.
My goodness.
Most interestingly, the revenue gained from concessions alone is astronomical.
Really?
It is estimated that anywhere between $6 and $8 million is grossed on concessions alone.
In a
That
game?
is a lot of food and drinks.
Oh my God.
Lastly,
how many hot
the
dogs
most
is that?
important attendees of the big game are, of course, the coaches and players. This includes the 53-man roster,
Right.
plus 2 to 4 additional reserves, 20 to 25 coaches,
Yep.
15 to 20 medical/training staff,
Right.
and another 25 to 30 operations personnel,
Yeah, for
totaling
equipment,
115 to 130 people per team.
Yeah.
And believe me when I tell you this, their schedules the week of the Super Bowl are crazy.
Rigorous.
Super Bowl week is hectic,
Lot of
to say the
media.
least.
Oh, my
Teams
goodness.
normally arrive Sunday before the Super Bowl to get settled and have a lengthy week of activities ahead of them. On Monday, the festivities begin.
Right.
Most notably, opening night.
Excuse me.
On opening night, individual players and coaches from both teams are at podiums. Thousands of media members gather around them to ask questions and record viral moments, like this interview between Deion Sanders and Marshawn Lynch several years back.
You look good. Shit, you do too.
The event is also commonly open to fans as a ticketed event. The host stadium will often play hype videos for each team, music, and entertain with team mascots. In total, it is about
guys.
90 minutes and gets most of the media obligations out of the way early, allowing teams to focus on football later in the week. Tuesday
That's
through
fair.
Friday
That's fair.
are much more football focused. Teams hold full practices and media events are limited. While coaches and players will still conduct individual interviews on these days are way more tame than opening night and allow players to focus on what's important.
The game.
Saturday
The
is
actual
when
game.
things really tighten up and calm down. The teams normally hold light walkthroughs and media sessions are at a minimum, with only key players and coaches holding brief interviews. Most of the players'
Right.
time is spent in hotels, reviewing film and mentally prepping for the next day. On Super Bowl Sunday,
Nobody talked to us.
everything is tightly scheduled and
Okay.
feels like it is timed down to the minute. Players are required to be up and at breakfast around 7 hours before kickoff. Teams will often hold a few additional meetings for position groups and then head to the stadium 3 to 4 hours before kickoff.
Okay.
For travel to
All
the
right.
game, teams obviously have police escorts and NFL security to ensure a safe arrival, and teams have a fixed window of arrival set by the league. Upon
Okay.
entering the stadium, players will get additional treatment needed and then begin warm-ups 90 minutes before kickoff. After warm-ups, players will head back to the locker room for some last-minute speeches by captains and coaches before being introduced for the big game.
Woo!
And then the show
Super
really starts.
Bowl kickoff, baby.
To showcase the spectacle for those not in attendance, a broadcast is needed, of course.
Right.
There are 4 major broadcast
This year was
channels
actually
that
really
retain
cool.
rights to host the Super Bowl, rotating every year. They are CBS, Fox, NBC, and ABC.
Yes.
Under the most recent deal signed in 2021,
basically
the
just
first 3
ESPN.
channels have the rights to 3 Super Bowls, and ABC has the rights to 2. After that, a new
not how I thought
contract
that
will be
worked.
needed.
Okay.
The commentators for each are as follows. CBS's A-Team of Jim Nantz and Tony Romo,
Right.
Fox's Kevin Burkhardt and Tom Brady,
yeah.
NBC's Mike Tirico and Chris Collinsworth,
That's who had it
and
this year.
ABC/ESPN's Monday Night Football hosts Joe Buck and Troy Aikman.
Right.
This year, we'll get an extra dose of Tirico and Collinsworth, as it's NBC's Super Bowl to host.
I mean, Sean Mannion is here.
To make the broadcast happen, the hosts need cameras, and a lot of them. In last year's Super Bowl, Fox used well over 100 cameras, and Sony added an additional
Yeah.
250.
This year,
6,000
Sony
plus
had a
credentialed
bunch.
media members are at the Super Bowl. And while not all of them are operating cameras or
I will say 6,000 media members is actually crazy. Because again, that also goes into the hotel rooms, right? Like, where are they staying? They're not staying at the stadium, being like, oh, gotta get ready for Patrick Mahomes. Like he might be in here early. Maybe LeBron James might show up. He starts hooping up on the field. I don't know. They also have to have a place to stay, and it is kind of wild to think that there are so many media members, people coordinating, producers, executives that are, trying to make sure that, hey, get this person, make sure that, okay, send that video over. Now they got to go. Oh my goodness, it's a lot. It is a logistical nightmare, as they said early on in this video. So yeah, that's a lot. It is a lot of people.
many of them are.
They're going to take a look at that.
They are the unsung heroes of the production. They capture all of the important moments we see throughout the game and everything that fans tune in for.
Everyone gets a name. That's
outside of
what's so
those
cool.
just watching for the halftime show and commercials.
Right.
Speaking of which, another major draw to the Super Bowl are the commercials,
Right.
which for many people are more entertaining than the Super Bowl itself. Throughout the duration of the broadcast,
I do enjoy
anywhere
good
from
run of
80 to
ads.
90 commercials
That's
are
a
aired.
lot. That is a lot.
50 to 60 companies run these commercials, and while recent estimates aren't available, it was reported that 56 different companies ran commercials in 2022.
That's a lot.
Last year,
That's crazy.
Anheuser-Busch had the most run time, with over 3 minutes. That was 30 seconds more than what they had spent in 2024. With the spend in mind, what do Super Bowl commercials cost?
Like 8 million
Last
now?
year, it was between $7 and $8 million for 30 seconds.
That's a lot.
That doesn't include the cost of shooting the commercial,
Right.
producing the commercial, and, where applicable, paying the celebrities
Yeah.
that are in the commercials. However, considering that there was
Just
an
to get
average
the
live
slot.
viewership of 127.7 million people last year, that level of investment somehow seems justified.
Yeah.
The other major draw for at-home viewers and those in attendance is the halftime show. The first step is selecting a performer, a delicate and well thought out process. The first and most important factor is popularity.
Right.
The person must resonate with over 100 million viewers. The next
That's
consideration
fair.
is
Yeah.
cross-generational recognition. People
Yeah, like
ages
Usher.
5
Right.
to 90 years old watch the Super Bowl every year. The person
And
performing
we got
should be
Kendrick
recognized
Lamar
by
and
a
Bad
large
Bunny.
majority.
I can't wait for the boomers
And
to love
of course,
this one.
if the person is internationally recognized,
Right.
that is a huge plus as well.
Bunny
After sifting
this
through
season,
dozens
right.
of options, a performer is selected 3 to 6 months in advance.
Yes,
then
yeah.
the practicing and budgeting begins.
We watched this video,
Performance
by the way,
is
behind the scenes.
no different than a regular halftime performance, other than the
Super sick
insane
video.
cost and presentation value. It still has tight time constraints, and the show typically runs about 13 minutes.
What's his name? Hamilton Hamish. He's the director of it, and that was his reaction after the Kendrick Lamar halftime show, and he was like, "Yeah." We gotta watch that again because he's
Time
really
constraints,
sick.
and the
He's
show
done
typically
so many.
runs about 13 minutes. An additional 10 to 20 minutes is needed for teardown, and then we're back to the action.
Right.
Beyond the timing, the cost, however, is where things get really crazy. The shows can cost anywhere from $10 to $20 million to produce.
a lot.
And we've
It's a
seen
lot
a
of
ton
money.
of great performers. This year's performer is Bad Bunny, but icons like Michael Jackson,
Mm-hmm.
Prince, Madonna, and recently Taylor Swift, who set the record.
Huh? Hold on. What do they have to say about Taylor Swift?
Record for most costume changes last year was 7, have at one point graced the stage.
Is this whole video a lie? Have I actually just been fed misinformation. What? Okay, Taylor Swift she had a lot of costume changes during her Eras tour, right? She didn't perform at the Super Bowl halftime show, okay? The script might be AI. It might be. Because that is something that you could easily look up. Something that you could easily cross-reference. I will say the person sounds very much like Wendover Productions. Like, very similarly. Guys, we're going to finish this video, but I have a feeling that this entire script and the entire voice is actually AI. The editing might not be, but... curse you!
The wild thing about selecting a performer is almost no one gets selected twice as a headliner. Only Gloria Estefan, Beyonce, and Justin Timberlake have headlined multiple times.
Well,
it's an exclusive
that's
club,
also not true.
Those who are selected twice as a headliner, and a true testament of a performer's
Kendrick Lamar
popularity.
and Lady Gaga both have, but
the
again,
game and
this
the
is
halftime
before.
show are
They
obviously
also
the major
didn't think
draws
that
in the
Kendrick
Super Bowl
Lamar
for those in
actually
attendance.
headlined,
But the Super Bowl is a one of a kind experience. And how much does it cost? The cheapest seat last year on resale markets just before the Super Bowl
4,000?
started
It was this year.
anywhere between $2,200 and $2,600. The average resale ticket price last year was $8,076.
Oh my goodness.
Tickets for first row in the 50-yard line, upwards of $56,000.
Dang.
Insane prices. But they are nothing in comparison to the suites. The tiers are normally as follows. Upper Bowl run around $2,500. Lower Bowl can run between $4,000 to $10,000. Club level tickets are between $8,000 to $15,000 and offer super unique experiences. 50-yard line and sideline tickets range between $5 and $20K. And the Super Bowl suites are crazy. Super Bowl suites last year ranged between $750,000 and $2.5 million.
Oh my goodness.
That is one expensive game. Of course, there are a lot of perks that come with it.
That is crazy.
At least we'd hope so, for the price.
Right.
The suites
Comfy
include
seats.
anywhere from 15 to 50 seats, depending on the size. They also come with buffets of gourmet food prepared by expert chefs, multiple flat screen TVs, service staff, a full service cocktail bar, and VIP parking / shuttle services. Many packages offer meet and greets with players, field access before the game, and exclusive parties only for suite holders. Is that worth the price of admission?
I don't know.
Speaking of money, gambling during the Super Bowl is huge.
Right.
Last year, it was estimated that $1.39 billion was gambled on the Super Bowl.
Why is the graph so big
according
for
to
only
the American
1.3?
Gaming Association? Other estimates indicate that overall gambling was a lot larger, totaling over $6 billion. Who placed the largest bet? And how much did they place? Mattress Mac, who you may have heard of, still holds the record for the largest bet when he waged $5 million on the Cincinnati Bengals to win Super Bowl 56,
against the
breaking
Rams.
the previous record of $4.9 million set in
lost.
2002.
And he lost.
That bet is still a drop in the bucket compared to the $1.39 billion that was gambled. So what are all these people gambling on? The winner, of course, but more importantly, the prop bets. And believe me, there are a ton of crazy prop bets. Obviously, you can bet on players' yards, touchdown scorers, and others, but the Super Bowl offers a unique menu. The most famous are the over-under for national anthem length, the color of Gatorade poured on the winning coach, and the result of the coin toss. But some sports books get really creative. Props offered on some sports books in the past have included crazy things like whether or not a player will propose after the game, whether or not an octopus, a touchdown and 2-point conversion by the same player will happen, if there will be a power outage, this happened during Super Bowl 47, if there will be a wardrobe malfunction, also happened before, and a host of others. The craziest prop bet that actually hit was whether or not there would be a streaker during the Super Bowl.
Right.
Although this one was removed for hilarious reasons.
Because he bet on himself.
In 2021, a fan placed a $50,000 bet that there would be a streaker during the Super Bowl at plus 750. So what did he know? Well, apparently a lot. The fan then attended the Super Bowl and made sure his bet hit in the most hilarious way possible. He was in line for $374,000 payday, but the sportsbooks obviously found out he gamed the system and voided the bet.
Right.
Wild. Once the game is over and a champion has been crowned, the bets have been cashed, the
sometimes you got to go out there, right?
This may seem like a long drawn out process, but the host city and stadium normally has a ton of help.
Right.
Within the first couple of hours, most of the trash inside of the stadium is actually removed and thrown away. After all of the fans have left,
so this is
the deep
after
clean
the game.
begins.
Oh my gosh.
This is completed by stadium staff and special workers hired just for Super Bowl cleanup. Deep
Right.
cleaning is completed over the next 6 to 12 hours. The workers power wash floors, clean bathrooms, remove field markings, logos, and NFL markings, amongst a litany of other things.
Yeah, that's got to be a lot.
By the next
especially
morning,
the bathroom.
almost everything inside the stadium is cleaned up. But the trash and mess left behind outside the stadium is the real problem and takes much longer. Over the next 2 to
Because
3
it's not so
days,
contained, that makes
volunteers
sense.
help tear down and pick up all of the fan events and trash that are left over from the massive event.
Right.
All told, it takes roughly 72 hours to clean up after the Super Bowl, which,
Just
if you
clean up
consider
after
the sheer
yourselves,
size of the
man.
event, is actually quite impressive. From there, audits on spending and reviewing of finances begin. These take quite a bit of time, but they're really the only thing left to do after the cleanup has been finished. So
Okay,
that's
fair.
it in a nutshell. The Super Bowl is a crazy event, hosting thousands of celebrities, media members, and fans every single year.
And Taylor
It is the
Swift's
singular
halftime show
most popular
performance.
event in American sports and television, for that matter. To put things in perspective, 19 of the 20 most watched American television broadcasts have been Super Bowls, with MASH, Goodbye, Farewell, and Amen being the only non-Super Bowl broadcasts to have made the list. There is a lot
That's
that
actually
goes
pretty
into the
crazy.
Super Bowl, and for good reason. It is quite literally the biggest event in American culture, and probably will be for quite some time.
Not gonna lie, that is pretty impressive. I feel a little indifferent because I felt like I learned something about the back end of how the Super Bowl actually operates and the logistics behind it, from, you know, cleaning to prop bets to I feel like Taylor Swift's halftime show as well. I'm conflicted because a lot of this could have been wrong. The housing could have been wrong. The amount of staff members that work on the field could have been wrong. I don't know. Let me know down in the comment section if you think this is how the Super Bowl works. Things are exaggerated a little bit because maybe it was AI. And if you actually want to watch a true behind the scenes video, here's the behind the scenes video of the Kendrick Lamar Super Bowl halftime show that you can watch next. Subscribe!